It's been an interesting experience, to say the least. Very grateful that I had my booster.
There's the mayor giving us an update just moments ago. Good afternoon. Thanks for watching. This is Now. I'm Jonathan Jared Sapi alongside Mark Carpenter.
Yeah, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi continues to recover from his bout with COVID-19 and is planning to return to Honolulu Hale sometime this week. We caught up with the mayor this morning via Zoom to discuss his experience with the virus.
I got through this very well, feel good. Been cleared to get back to work tomorrow, but our team thought it would be good that I meet with you today and just let you know that everything is good to go.
My first question is, when did you first start experiencing symptoms? And, you being in your position, a very public position, what is your best guess of, where you contracted the virus?
Look, the fact of the matter is that I began to feel tired Tuesday, and it was an unusual feeling of being sluggish. So still, nonetheless, went through the day, woke up Wednesday morning and tested because I just didn't feel right. And so that's really when I felt it. It came on fast, to be honest with you. It was just that just sense of being sluggish more than anything. I'll say this throughout. I've not really had any extreme symptoms. I had an occasional cough, an occasional sneeze, kind of a runny nose. Candidly, if I didn't know about COVID or if we didn't know about COVID, I would have thought I just had a cold. And I feel fortunate. I think the challenge of this whole thing was to stay home for 5 days and to not expose anybody.
But after experiencing the virus, do you plan to get a second booster?
Yes, I do. Actually, I was scheduled to do it Saturday afternoon, April 16th, as it turned out. And so we didn't go in right now. I want to just check and see what they recommend, since I've now had COVID, what that time period should be. But I fully expect, and my wife as well, to get our fourth shot. In fact, if I'm here today to say anything, I would just encourage people and with the realization that, look, as much as we've talked about putting COVID behind us, it's still around us. And I think I'm proof positive. As somebody who's 75 years old, I'm even that much more sensitive, working a full-time job. And so, we're all vulnerable. We want to be smart. We want to protect ourselves as much as possible. I think, if I can say this, I really owe the fact that I got through this the way we did with really mild symptoms. I owe that to the fact that I had the 3-shot regimen. I think I felt the force field, if you will, the vaccines and their impact on me and my body. I was encouraged by that. And I think had I not been, well, I really don't want to speculate on that. I think I probably could have been a lot sicker or really sick for that matter. So I'm very grateful and I fully intend to protect myself and my family in any way, in every way possible.
Your administration has been very active in opening up this city and lifting the restrictions, but kind of as you alluded to, does your personal experience with the virus make you reconsider any of that and kind of just make you have a different approach going forward? No,
it doesn't change anything at all. I think that what we said all along. This is going back now, probably some time ago. We're going to watch the hospitalizations. We understand the high level of transmission of going back to Omicron and the position that we took with that, and now with the BA2 variant and possibly the XE variant, whatever. I think everything I've watched and listened to and read over the course of even the last couple of weeks says this is really pervasive and it's out there, and part of this is learning to live with it. That's why people getting fully vaccinated, getting that third shot, even though there's been this malaise to go out and get boosters because people felt like it was behind it. I would just tell you, I encourage everybody, maximize your protection.
Mayor Blangiardi giving us an update there. Now I want to switch to some other news developing. Our White House correspondent, John Decker, standing by live right now. John Decker, how's it going? I want to talk about those midterm elections. And, President Trump has been giving some big endorsements lately. What's going on there?
Well, you're right about that. These are big endorsements. One is for the Pennsylvania Republican primary. The other is for the Ohio Republican primary. And the former president has endorsed 2 individuals who are not the frontrunners, Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania, and in addition to that, J.D. Vance, the best-selling author from Ohio. It's yet to be known whether this endorsement from the former president will make a difference in either one of those races. The president will have a campaign rally in Ohio over the weekend, just ahead of the Ohio primary. That's on May the 3rd. The Pennsylvania primary takes place on May the 17th. So we'll have a better idea after those two primaries take place as to whether or not the Trump endorsement matters a lot in these two particular races.
There's also been a lot of talk about Sarah Palin, right, and her future in these midterms. What's going on there?
Well, for Sarah Palin, she is running for an open seat in Alaska. Don Young, the longtime congressman from Alaska, recently passed away. That has created an opportunity for some aspiring politicians. And in the case of Sarah Palin, someone who formerly served as the governor of Alaska. So she is running for that particular seat in Alaska. There's no guarantee that she's going to be elected. It's been a long time since she has been the governor of Alaska. And of course, as you may recall, she resigned her post as governor. And so that is a race that I think will certainly garner a lot of attention. She already has the endorsement of former President Trump in that race. So we'll see if that matters in Alaska as well.
All right, let's talk about Biden and his impact on the midterms. How's it looking for the Democrats?
Well, for the Democrats on the House side, it's not looking very good in the sense that historically, the party that is in power typically loses seats in the midterm elections. So historically, that means 26 seats lost by the party in power in the House, 6 seats lost by the party in power in the Senate. That's history. We don't know if history will repeat itself, but I think it's going to be really difficult for Democrats to hold on to control of the House of Representatives. The Senate's a different thing entirely. Republicans have more seats to defend than Democrats do, and it ultimately depends upon the type of candidates that Republicans choose for the general election as to whether or not those candidates and those races will be competitive. I think ultimately it does come down to two states in particular, Pennsylvania and Ohio. In both of those states, there are open seats because you have 2 Republicans, Rob Portman in Ohio, Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania, who are retiring. And so for Republicans to take control of the Senate, I think it's really important for them to hold on to both of those seats.
John Decker, always good to talk to you here at This Is Now.
Now to the latest in Europe. Russia is intensifying its attacks in eastern Ukraine, and the city of Mariupol is close to falling under Russian control. Skylar Henry reports.
Explosions could be heard coming from this steel plant in Mariupol, where Ukrainian forces are making their last stand in the war-torn city.
I'm afraid this is going to be a very gruesome and sad end to an heroic fight by those Ukrainian soldiers. But it's going to end, I think, probably sooner rather than later.
Russia has destroyed most of Mariupol in its efforts to deliver a victory ahead of a possible self-imposed deadline.
The pressure on the general staff to deliver Mariupol finally ahead of 9 May is immense. 9 May, of course, is this annual celebration in Russia of the end of World War II, or what they call the Great Patriotic War.
Russia launched more than 300 missile strikes focused mostly on eastern Ukraine, ahead of a new ground offensive in the region which could be launched any day now. One of those missiles struck a residential area, killing 2 people in Kharkiv, and missile strikes in the far western city of Lviv killed at least 7. This weekend, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he has invited President Biden to visit the country and predicted he'll come. However, the White House has said President Biden will not visit Ukraine, and Russia's ability to launch missiles anywhere in the country makes it even more unlikely. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
A Trump-appointed federal judge has struck down the White House's mask mandate for airplanes and other public transportation. The U.S. District Judge in Florida ruled today that the mandate is unlawful and exceeded the authority of the CDC. The policy required passengers on airplanes, trains, and other public transportation to wear face coverings. Last week, the CDC extended it through May 3rd. Officials pointed to the recent rise in COVID-19 cases in many states across the U.S. The Department of Justice has not said if it will try to appeal the ruling.
On COVID and this extension, this 2-week extension of masking on public transportation, can you help us understand some of the science behind this? Why 2 weeks?
Sure.
What difference can be made in such a short amount of time?
Sure. Well, this assessment was made. I know there was a statement that was put out by the CDC, and certainly would point to that. But as they're continuing to monitor the spread of BA2, the BA2 subvariant, which now makes up more than 85% of U.S. cases, what they're looking at is that since early April, there's been an increases in the 7-day moving average of the cases in the United States. So what they're trying to do is give a little bit more time to assess its potential impact, the rise of the cases have on severe disease, including hospitalizations and deaths, and the healthcare system capacity. And their assessment from a medical standpoint, a data gathering standpoint, is that 2 weeks would give them some additional time to do that. Now, at the end of that 2 weeks, they can determine what's next after that, but that is that assessment they made so that they could gather more data of the rise of the subvariant.
So should we then expect, and should the public expect, sort of more of these kind of short-term extensions?
It's a good question. I just don't want to make a prediction of that. I think it depends on how they evaluate and assess the data over the course of the next 2 weeks, and they're trying to provide regular, transparent updates to the public.
All right, White House giving us an update on that story. We'll get more on that on your evening editions of the CBS and NBC News. Hey, why don't we take you live outside on this gorgeous Monday? Hope you had a good holiday weekend. Looking really nice out there so far. Let's turn things over to our good friend, Guy Hoggy, with an update on all those conditions.
Those winds aren't going to leave anytime soon. They'll be holding firm for the next 7 days. That's right, the next 7 days we'll have breezy trends, so it's going to be comfortable. You don't have to worry about air quality. If anything, we'll get some overnight and early morning showers. No major big rainmakers are coming in anytime soon, and we are expecting lots and lots of sunshine. So the temperatures aren't changing very much. These are the numbers from the National Weather Service. 85 for high, 72 for low.
Hey, sea turtles are coming back to nest, and to make sure they're comfortable, officials are putting in some restrictions over at Bellows Beach. Let's turn things over to Sammy Solino with more on that.
The restrictions start today, which means this morning folks had to pack up their tents, and this campground is going to be pretty clear for the next 19 or so weeks. Parks and Recreation, along with the Marine Corps Base, says this is effective until September 1st or until there are no more nesting sites along Bellows Field Beach Park. They say this is necessary to protect the turtles as they nest, incubate, and hatch along the shoreline. Turtles began nesting here fairly recently in 2020. Although scientists don't know the exact reason why this started, they suspect that pandemic closures played a part in turtles choosing this beach. Officials say human activities have threatened the safety of these turtles through off-roading, campfires, dogs, illegal trash dumping, as well as artificial light. Once they identify a nesting site, they will put up signs for folks to stay away. Officials hope everyone will do their part to protect the turtles, but if you see anyone disturbing them, you should call 808-285-9529 or 808-257-2123.
It was still a beautiful time spending time with the family. And as far as the sea turtles, I think it's really important. You know, everybody just gotta stay back.
Regular weekday use is still allowed, and there will still be military training exercises. Sammy Solina for This Is Now.
Man, the internet is buzzing about this next story today. I have seen so many people posting about it. Let's just show you.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a long time coming, right? All right, let's give a warm and cheesy welcome back to the Mexican pizza.
Let's go.
Yeah. Taco Bell announced today that the item is resurfacing on the menu after a 2-year hiatus. The pizza was cut in 2020 in order to cut costs. Why cut the pizza, really? Triggering a petition from hundreds of thousands of fans demanding its return. Well, it's going to do just that on May 19th. This picture is making me so hungry. Why do we have to wait till May 19th?
You see all of it. You see how it's constructed. It's so perfect.
Delicious.
So May 19th.
No word if it's permanent, though. Sorry, bud. Sorry. Yeah.
Brutal. It should have never left in the first place. You think about the great items, all right, on the Taco Bell menu. Mexican pizza is up there. It's in the conversation. It did not have to leave.
So many things these fast food chains come and go, and they just tease us, really.
Well, good to see it back.
Yep.
Now, we have a big entertainment news to announce this morning. And how about this? Let's have a special guest announce the honors.
Hey, everyone. Aloha, it's Donnie Wahlberg from New Kids on the Block, and I want to take a second and say thank you to all of our fans in Hawaii for welcoming us back with open arms. We announced our first 2 shows in Hawaii in over 30 years, and both of them have sold out, and we could not be more grateful. In fact, if it's okay with you, we'd like to announce a 3rd show on Sunday, August 7th, so we can spend even more time with all of you enjoying the beauty of the Aloha spirit. Again, thank you so much, and we cannot wait to see all of you.
Here we go. You heard it straight from Donnie Wahlberg himself. A 3rd show added for New Kids on the Block and TLC. It's Sunday, August 7th at the Blaisdell. Tickets go on sale for Hawaii residents at 10 a.m. this Saturday. And we're told 95% of the tickets for the other 2 shows went to people in Hawaii.
I would go see that. I haven't got my tickets yet, so this is my chance.
Great. Got to hear from Donnie Wahlberg on the show. Fantastic. Yeah. And also this. How about this? More Hawaii representation on the American Song Contest. Part-time Hawaii resident Tanel is representing American Samoa and performing tonight. Mark Barger has a preview.
Maybe we're a little bit of both at the same time.
Alan Stone put the West Coast on the American Song Contest map last week. His tune was the jury pick, moving Washington State into the next round.
It's such a privilege to get to share an original piece of music that I crafted myself, that I produced myself, I wrote myself, and get to represent the state of Washington with that song.
The remaining 10 acts from last week will find out tonight which 3 will join Stone in the semifinals.
And then Kelly came up to me after my performance, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love this song." And I was like, "This is not real life."
My dad told me, I just got to go to a free concert, and you were in it.
I really want to continue repping my state, and I want to get better each week. So I really hope I have that opportunity.
After those results, contestants from the final 11 states and U.S. territories will take the stage to sing their original songs and hope it's enough to move them into the semifinals.
We've worked so hard for this. It's probably the biggest opportunity we've gotten.
Especially seeing how many other amazing artists are on the show, that they're putting me on that same level playing field, I think is incredible.
That challenge was part of what enticed Maryland's act. Cisco.
You got to prove your worth, right there in the moment. And I thought that was exciting.
Excitement the performers hope carries into tonight. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Yep, that's airing tonight on KHNL. Really exciting show there for primetime tonight in KHNL. All right, we got even more entertainment news for you. That's because Broadway is back in town. Billy V now with more on that.
Beautiful. The Carole King musical opens tomorrow. That's going to be at Blaisdell. Sarah Shepard is the star of the show. Welcome to Hawaii.
Thank you. First time.
First time.
Yes.
Nice.
Pumped.
Okay, so you are here. The cast is arriving. When did you get in?
Yes, I got in Friday night, and a few other people got in here a little early too, okay. And then most people come in today.
Okay. So. Did you travel by yourself?
I did.
Okay.
I traveled from we had a layoff a week before. I was in LA and then just flew here.
Any family coming?
Oh yeah, we have my dad, my stepmom, sister, brother-in-law, and their 3 kiddos.
Wow!
Yeah, it's gonna be a great week.
How is doing this show in the lead role? Because you understudied.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's such a thrill and an honor. I always say that, but it's true to be able to step into her shoes every night. And especially, I've covered the role for 6 years on Broadway, and went on a bunch. But to actually do it 8 times a week it's thrilling because you really get to kind of put your own stamp on it and really dive in.
So it never gets old?
It doesn't. It really doesn't. As long as you sort of, you step on stage every night and go on the ride that she gets to go on, it doesn't get old.
Do you have the pressure where you have to sound like Carole King, or?
This is so great. Our musical supervisor, Jason Howland, he never, no matter who ever stepped into the role, there was never this pressure to really have to put on her voice or sound like her. But I did a lot of listening and try to sort of incorporate her musical phrasing and styling, but not necessarily the tone, which is great. It's so freeing because I get to use my own voice, but you still get the essence of Carole.
Where was the last place that you came from performing?
We were in Seattle over the weekend,
okay.
Which was amazing.
How was that?
Oh, it was so great. And we actually got some sunshine in Seattle, which was lovely. But doing the show there was awesome. It was great audiences, there and everywhere. We've been so lucky.
Okay, so tomorrow night, it all begins for you here.
That's right.
Okay, so get your tickets. You know, Carole King, known for, she's had over 100 songs that have charted in Billboard. Were you surprised at how many songs that she had written and done?
Oh yeah. I mean, I knew some of her a lot of her Tapestry stuff, but when we were putting the show together in 2013, that's when I really started to learn what she wrote for other people, songs like The Locomotion and Up on the Roof, all of these songs that these incredible artists covered, but I never knew that she wrote them, so that was a thrill to find out.
I know it's 7:47 in the morning. Is it too early in the morning to sing like 2 lines of any song?
Oh God!
Not full, I mean just a little bit of your voice.
What will I give you? Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly.
If you want more, get your tickets. And once again, that's going to be tickets available at BroadwayInHawaii.com. Sarah Shepard here in our studio. Sarah, go get them. Good luck to you. Continued success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. We'll have also this online at HawaiiNewsNow.com afterwards.
Yeah, Billy V putting the pressure on this morning on Sunrise.
And she's a star right there. She delivered, all right, at 7:47 in the morning, all right, dropping some bars.
Well, it's now 12:21, Mark Carpenter.
Nope.
Sing your favorite Carole King
I've never
song.
prided myself on being able to sing, but so good to have Broadway in Hawaii here
It's
again
back.
and
It's
get
back.
back to the performances, right?
Yeah, and there's several coming up. Jersey Boys, I'm looking right here. That's coming up in September. We got Hamilton, your choice, coming up in December, and Cats coming up also. So get your tickets while you still can. I'm excited about the Broadway being back too, right here in the Aloha State and in New York also.
Yeah, a ton of great entertainment news unfolding across the state.
And sports news.
That's right. The Boston Marathon is underway. It's for the first time since the pandemic began. The race is back, and the winner is Evans Chebet of Kenya. He finished the race in just 2 hours and 6 minutes.
All right, refresh me. How long's the marathon?
26.2.
Okay. Have you ever done one?
I have not. It goes back and forth between being a goal and not. So sometimes I tell myself, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, but then I think about it even more. I'm like, I can wait.
Only thing that sounds fun about it is carbing up and eating tons of
and
pasta.
then eating after.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's the good thing about it. But the months of soreness that would follow for me would not be fun at all.
The extensive training. Now, in all, more than 28,000 runners signed up for today's race. Yeah, great work.
You guys, I want to take you live outside one last time and just look how gorgeous it is out there. But you know, that can always change at a moment's notice. That's why this is a good time to remind you to download your Hawaii News Now severe weather app. Again, it's beautiful right now. If you saw the 7 days, it just looked like a repeat every day. But now is the time to prepare. Download that severe weather app. You guys, thanks so much for joining. This is now on this Monday. Yep, it's Monday. We're going to take you now to the National Zoo where our famous pandas are celebrating a birthday. And that cut off early, but thanks so much for watching. This is now Mark's back first at 4 on KHNL. See you then. Have a good one, everyone.
See you then.
Bye.